All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NAKD, Naked Brand Group. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we jump into this chart, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware that I have a ticker symbol for you guys towards the end of this video. Now, this ticker symbol, we've talked about it twice already in the last 2 weeks. And in the last 2 weeks, it's already almost 2x. And in the last coming months to this point, it's already almost 9x. So I definitely want every single investor and viewer not to miss this one. And I have a question for the first time viewers and investors that come across this ticker symbol, how they feel about the chart, and also for the subscribers and viewers that have seen it in the last 2 times that I talked about it, how you guys feel about it, and have you been watching it on your watch list. So stay tuned to the end for more questions on that. But I definitely recommend that you guys watch this one because we're going to talk about its chart and the potential moving forward. You don't want to miss this one. You want to keep it on your radar. So here we are with NAKD, Naked Brand Group. Now, Naked Brand has been slightly in a very subtle downward trend and at the same time fighting in a consolidation period. And we're going to zoom out so you can see it. So when you zoom out, you can kind of see a consolidation period, right? And when you zoom in pretty close, it just keeps going down, going down, going down, but it's been holding itself up pretty well above 109. So right now, Naked Brand is fighting to stay up, but every time it's kind of hanging out at a newer location in a lower part of the chart. Now, when you look at it zoomed out, it's kind of consolidating. So the fact that it's consolidating above $1, that's looking pretty healthy so far. Now, the lowest point that I would really look at here that I want every single investor to have written down is 96 cents. Now, it had a slight jump up after this slight dip early on in the day, and it just hit highs here of about 121, which is yesterday's second highest point. So this is looking like a wall here and a very important resistance level for this stock to move upwards and moving forward. So 121 right now, very important resistance level for the bulls to break through, to reach newer highs and new resistance levels. I want every single investor to be aware of that. Now, to narrow this down to the T and get a lot closer in and zoomed in, 114 is the 50-day moving average, and our support here is 113. So this is a very close one. 1 cent difference. 114 50-day moving average. If we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. So the bulls right now are slightly in control, and we are in tug-of-war zone. So 113 gets broken through. The bears have accomplished both things, breaking through the 50-day moving average and the first support in bearish territory to bring this down to newer lows. Now, the more zoomed in resistance level is 117. So it's only about a 1 to 2 cent difference based off this 30-minute time frame for this candlestick. So 117 definitely needs to be broken through, but most importantly 121 so that the bulls can reach newer highs and new resistance levels. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Stay tuned till the end because the ticker symbol I am about to discuss with you guys, you don't want to miss it, and you definitely want to add it to your watch list. So for everyone that has stayed to this point in the video, the ticker symbol I'm about to share with you guys is a reiteration of the previous stock graphs and also where the stock was and where it's at now. So I think this is the second time I talk about this one in less than a month, and I really want every single investor and viewer to be aware of this one, especially the new coming investors and subscribers. I don't want you guys to miss this one. And for every single subscriber that missed it in the previous videos, if you're having the chance to watch it now, I really want you guys to be aware of this company and do your due diligence and do your research and further digging to understand this ticker symbol and the potential moving forward. So the ticker symbol is CLNE, right? So let's go ahead and pick it up here. Let's see if it pops up. Clean Energy Fuels Corporation. Now, in less than a month, it has actually risen, right? From about $10 all the way up to highs here of almost $19. That's almost 100% gain. But let's just go ahead and say it from $10, right? Forget about the $10.45. We talked about it before that. We talked about it right here at $10.998. So $10 to $18.70, that's 87% gain. Okay? And there's so much more room still for this stock. This stock has been growing exponentially over time. I know that when you look at it, you're like, oh, well, there's going to be a point where this is going to drop. Well, we went through one of the massive drops right here after it took off where I was talking about it. This was the first time I went ahead and mentioned it, January 22nd. And I said, okay, we might see it cool off and go a little bit lower. We want to look for some consolidation, and then it can start to hit newer highs. Well, it took off after that, soon after, and it hit 12, came back down to 10, and a lot of investors already saw 12, and they said, okay, 12 is possible. So now we need to get to 12, and we need to break through 12. Well, that certainly happened. It brought itself right back up, slightly above it, brought itself back down to 12, and now it took off to 18. So the question is, could this go ahead and consolidate up here? Could we see this pull back somewhere in the middle of this? That's totally possible and healthy for the way the chart has been acting to this point. I want every single investor to be aware of all these consolidation periods and runs up. These are very healthy signs of a growing stock, okay? So it's clearly showing that. Now you have to do your due diligence and research, because now we're talking about it again at its highest point. We've talked about it at one of its highest points here when it was at 10, and it had recently hit 12, 11 and some change. So it was still showing signs that there could be some room, and analysis ratings were also looking pretty good. So now we've hit new highs. So analysis ratings need to be reiterated and upgraded. And then we also need to see for consolidation or a pullback, but obviously not coming back down to 12, somewhere in the middle. And if it does come back to 12, may it consolidate in 12, and then from there on out, hit newer highs and new resistance levels for this stock to continue this exponential growth. But the potential here going into the year and the coming years is phenomenal, and there's so much room here for this to continue. But from January 22nd till now, 87% growth is pretty phenomenal and interesting to me. So I wanted to go ahead and ask those of you that have found out about this since the first time I talked about it to this point, how have you felt about the graph? Did you add this to your watch list? Have you kept it on your radar? Did you add it to your watch list but disregarded it? All right. I want to ask these questions to you guys. All the viewers coming across this for the first time, I would encourage you to go ahead and do your due diligence and research. And just by looking at the graph, how does it make you feel? Do you see that this can continue to run? Do you see a pullback and consolidation? But the way it's been acting, do you think that this can repeat itself, right? But onto newer highs, like beyond this. So like if we were able to copy and paste this, but starting off at 18, can you see this type of distance and growth getting attached here beyond the next coming months and also year? So I wanted to ask that question to you guys, because that's what you really need to think about when you look at a graph, right? What is it acting like before? And could it repeat that same process moving forward to newer highs and new resistance levels? Obviously, the volatility of the stock market is always going to exist. There's been up and downs throughout this whole process. But if it can continue doing that behavior, there's room here for this to continue to probably 2x from where it is now, because we've almost 2x from where we talked about it in just weeks, and it's actually gone ahead in 9x, right? Almost 10x from way down here, these lows in November. So very interesting stuff. I wanted to ask that to all you guys that are watching, every single investor and viewer. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.